welcome to July reading wrap up. And again, I was still struggling with reading, but then it occurred to me that maybe I was in the mood for some horror. So we came back to our old friend Stephen King, and then I realized at some point in this book that this book isn't a horror, it's a tragedy. But I still managed to finish it. Thank you. Thank you. Cujo. 4 out of 5 stars. I read this one out of order because I was in the mood for something very specific. That being said, I also picked this up expecting it to be a horror. This book is not a horror. It is a tragedy. Yes, it has some scary elements, and some parts definitely have you on the edge of your seat, soaked in the suspense and waiting to see what will happen, but it's not a horror. It also made me cry a couple of times. There were a lot of mentions of characters wetting themselves, which was just weird and out of place. For some characters, the latter may be understandable given the situation, but it's not a universal thing, and I feel like this is the kind of thing where you need to pick who it happens with, because it doesn't always make sense. Some people just wouldn't do that, and ignoring that for the sake of cramming it in at every possible opportunity takes away from the story rather than adding to it. It doesn't feel authentic. It feels like you just want to talk about pee in as many different variations of the phrase as you can manage. For the record, it's not just this particular book that has this issue. That's it. That's what I read in July.